As the wise oracle tells us, in order to be truly financially free, we need to be able to make money while we're sleeping. And this account is able to do that. We generate consistent income every week. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah, and in this video, we're going to talk about all that we've accomplished and all the purchases we've made this week. But if you're new to the channel, this is an income generating account where we sell cash secured puts, covered calls, credit spreads, and collect dividends in order to generate that consistent income. So if you're someone that enjoys the investing journey and wants to be a part of it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and let's all grow together. So with that being said, let's jump right in. So my favorite way to generate income is by selling cash secured puts. When you sell a cash secured put, you're agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price. When you do this, you get paid money. You're getting paid just to agree to buy something that you wanted to buy anyway. And I also like to sell covered calls. That's when you're agreeing to sell a stock for a predetermined price. And likewise, you get paid for that as well. So again, remember, my trades are my opinions. They should never be taken as financial advice in any capacity. I'm just a guy on YouTube documenting my journey. And so far on my journey on YouTube, I've been on it for a little over a year. This account was about $42,000 when I started the YouTube journey. It's at $74,000. We hit a little over $75,000 today. So growing $30,000 or, right around 50% in a year. Not bad. And what we're going to do here is take a peek at some of the major purchases we have made in today as well as this week in order to generate consistent dividend income. We take income from selling cash secured puts and covered calls, and we put that income into dividend paying funds. We have weekly payers and we have monthly payers. The goal is to get it where the monthly payers cover my entire monthly expense. That's mortgage, student loans, things like that. So QILD, that is a monthly payer for us. We hit our goal. We have 100 shares. This is a covered call ETF. I've owned this position in multiple portfolios. And by the end of 2027, I do want to have 500 shares of that. But short-term goal was to get to 100. The other 100 share goal total I had was for T-SPY. That is a new one. I've never owned this in any other portfolio. The Premium General Group, who I'll talk about here shortly, turned me on to that. So I now have 100 shares of T-SPY. They should be announcing their ex-div here in the next day or two. So I'm looking forward to a payment from them probably next week, honestly. My first payment. And my other monthly payers, my favorite that I'm trying to get 1,000 shares of by the end of March 2026 is PDI. I've been trying to make daily purchases. Today, I purchased 3 shares, which brings me up to 773 shares. And I know I've showed this quite a few times, but I get paid from them once a month. My first monthly payment from them is coming actually right after the New Year's. Happy New Year's to everybody. And that's going to be January 2nd. And I'm going to get $138 because at the time of ex-div, I had 598 shares. Since then, I've picked up almost 200 shares. I'm at 773. So I'm not going to be able to continue to purchase this fast, but I want to get to that 1,000 share goal total. That's going to give me around $220 every single month. Once we hit that goal, we'll be able to continue to buy into our other goals. The Cornerstone Funds, CLM and CRF, I need to get 3,000 of each of those by the end of 2026. It'll be a lot easier to do so once we hit that goal total with PDI. But we have 1,670 shares of CRF, 1,623 shares of CLM. We'll be able to get that goal, hopefully, like I said, by the end of 2026, 3,000 shares of each of those, which is roughly going to get us around $700 a month between the two of them. Add that to PDI, and we're looking at almost $1,000 a month just between those monthly pairs. We have other ones that are going to be added to the account. And what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause this video, and I want you to go in the comments, and I want you to tell me what your favorite monthly dividend payer is. I'm not looking for ultra yielders that pay every single week. I generate plenty of income through selling options and collecting high-yielding dividends from COYY, TSYY. I'm not interested in adding any more of those right now, just for NAV erosion, but I need some better monthly payers. Somebody in the comments called out GOF, and honestly, I've been reading about it, and I'm pretty interested in this fund as a potential monthly payer. So things like that, guys, it's how we can all grow together, pick up new ideas. That's not a fund I've heard of before. I saw they've been paying distributions since about 2021, so I do have some interest in them. But with that said, like I said, leave me a comment, and we're going to keep talking about more purchases here. Before we go any further, I want to give a quick shout out to the Premium Generals, an exclusive group where I post private content such as educational videos on how to sell cash secured puts, how to sell covered calls, how to do credit spreads, debit spreads, the strangle method, how I use margin, and so many other videos. On top of that, I do private portfolio updates. Any trade that I make, when I make it, I make sure the Premium General group gets to hear it first. It's $10. You get to be featured in every single video. Come check it out. Watch the 100 videos we have in there already. And I think you'll like it. So come join us. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. Okay, so we are back in here. I want to get more cornerstone funds, like I said. The next is ORC. I want to get up to 500 shares, hopefully by May of 2025. That's kind of my first definitive timeline on this. I already have 365 shares, but I know I'm going to slow down my purchases. This is a monthly paying REIT. I'm trying to get some real estate exposure. And I am going to add another REIT fund in the near future. And by near, I'm thinking more along the lines of July and August of 2026. I'm always forward projecting. I believe you have to have a plan in place in order to maximize your success, and that's what I want to do. That's what I do with any account. I kind of set some long-term plans up, and I think further out than just the next couple of days. So I want to get this to 500 shares, then add another real estate fund. Again, that's quite a bit down the road for this account. Once this account crosses over the $100,000 mark, we're going to start adding a couple more growth positions. And I don't mean a couple more, sorry, I mean some growth positions. I really don't have any growth positions, and I'm not saying growth income funds where people consider them growth funds where they pay a large dividend. I do not consider those growth funds. I'm talking about funds that if they pay a dividend, it's a small amount quarterly because they're not paying out all those profits. They are continuously growing, investing back into the business, and something that you can hold to maximize margin, and that you can eventually take loans against as you need to. So that's what I'm talking about when I say growth fund. The account was up just a little bit ago, around 1 o'clock. We're at 75,000, and now we're down 0.44%. Let's see how we're comparing with the S&P 500. I always like to reference that. We were beating it earlier. They're down 0.64%. We're down 0.45%, so we're technically still beating the S&P percent-wise. I'm not trying to beat it dollar-wise. I'm trying to beat it percent-wise, which I think it helps just kind of gauge where we are. My only thoughts right now, and I'm not going to jump to any plans or anything like that, but these at the bottom here, ULTY, YBIT, Coney, and MSTY, they all are weekly pairs, and I'm just kind of like going back and forth if it's worth me keeping them in this account, knowing they're bringing their NAV down so much. Like, am I getting enough in dividends to cover that? I don't know. Maybe I go back, sell those out, and focus more, add some more options to the portfolio to generate some better income and not really worry too much about these weekly paying dividends. I mean, I'm still going to get about $100 from them, but maybe 120. I'll gauge it better this week. I'll see how much ULTY is paying along with Coney, MSTY, and YBIT, and I'll see if it's worth me holding or if I can get more cash from selling options without as much or anywhere near as much NAV decay on the position. So I'm still going to keep the ultra yielders, COYY and TSYY, even though they're dropping like crazy. Just the income is so good right now into other account and there are other investments. So honestly, I'm not worried about it, but I don't want too many of those positions. And I kind of think with those other weekly pairs, I'm putting myself in that sort of spot. So we'll see. We're continuously reaching our goals. We're generating income while we're sleeping. I think we're going to have another couple $100 hit the account tonight. Let me double check. I think this is... Yep, so tonight we're going to have $185 from CLM and $177 from CRF. That's over $300 we'll have hitting the account, which we will then use to purchase some more dividend-paying funds. Which ones? I'm not sure. Maybe we're probably going to honestly reinvest them all into PDI. Spoiler alert, probably going to PDI as we get closer and closer to that 1,000 share goal total. Once I get there, it's going to make it quite a bit easier to reach the cornerstone goals because the share prices are cheaper, so I can buy more shares with the same amount. So let's get PDI where it needs to be. Let's continue to invest in those funds a little bit at a time, and the account will grow, and we will be successful. And with that being said, guys, let's go Ohio State. We got to beat Miami tonight, and it's going to be a great game.